Good wishes to all. This is Dr. S. Zuleika Bivi, Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department, Karpagam College of Engineering. Today we are going to see the topic Top 10 Machine Learning Algorithms. And before entering the point, we have to know about what is machine learning algorithms. And the machine learning algorithms are the programs that can learn the hidden patterns from the data and predict the output and improve the performance from the experiences on their own. And different algorithms can be used in machine learning for different tasks, such as simple linear regression, and that can be used for prediction problem like stock market prediction, and the nearest neighbor algorithm can be used for the classification problems. So in this topic we will see the overview of some popular and most commonly used machine learning algorithm, also with their use cases and categories. And the types of machine learning algorithms we can categorize into three types. The one is the supervised learning algorithm, and the second one is unsupervised learning algorithm, and the third one is the reinforcement learning algorithm. And the supervised learning algorithm is a type of machine learning in which the machine needs external supervision to learn. The supervised learning models are trained using the labeled data set, and once the training and processings are done, the model is tested by providing a sample test data to check whether it predicts the correct output. And the goal of the supervised learning is to map input data with the output data. So the supervised learning is based on the supervision, and it is the same as when a student learns things in the teacher's supervision. So the example of the supervised learning is spam filtering, and the supervised learning can be further divided into two categories of the problem. One is classification and the next one is the regression. And the second category of the machine learning algorithm is unsupervised learning algorithm, and it is the type of machine learning algorithm in which the machine does not need any external supervision to learn from the data. So hence it is called unsupervised learning. And the unsupervised model can be trained using the unlabeled data set that is not classified and nor categorized, and the algorithm needs to act on the data without any supervision. In unsupervised learning, the model does not have a predefined output, and it tries to find useful insights from the huge amount of data. So they are used to solve the association and clustering problem. And the reinforcement learning, an agent interacts with its environment by producing actions and learns with the help of feedback. The feedback is given to the agent in the form of rewards, such as for good action, and the algorithm gets a positive reward, and for each bad action it gets a negative reward. So there is no supervision provides to the agent. Here we are going to see some list of popular machine learning algorithm, and the very first algorithm, that is the linear classification algorithm. So the linear the regression algorithm is one of the most popular and simple machine learning algorithm that is used for predictive analysis. So here the predictive analysis defines the prediction of something, and linear regression makes prediction for continuous numbers such as salary, age prediction, and the car price prediction, and the house rent prediction or house price prediction, etc. And it shows the linear relationship between the dependent and the independent variable, and shows how the dependent variables changes according to the independent variable. So it tries to best fit a line between the dependent and the independent variables, and this best fit line is known as the regression line. The equation for the regression line is, we can say for example, y equal to ax plus b. And here y is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable, and a is referred as the intercept of the line. And the linear regression we can divide into another two types, that is simple linear regression and the multiple linear regression. So then simple linear regression, a single independent variable is used to predict the value of the dependent variable, whereas in multiple linear regression more than one independent variables are used to predict the value of dependent variable. And the second best algorithm is the logistic regression, and the logistic regression is the supervised learning algorithm which is used to predict the categorical variables or the discrete values. So it can be used for the classification problem in machine learning, and the output of the logistic regression algorithm can be either yes or no, 0 or 1, or true or false likewise. So the logistic regression is similar to the linear regression except how they are used, such as the linear regression is used to solve the regression problems and predict the continuous values, whereas the logistic regression is used to solve the classification problem and used to predict the discrete values. And the third type of algorithm is the support vector machine, and the support vector machine, which is also called as SVM, which is a supervised learning algorithm, and that can also be used for classification and regression problem. So however, it is primarily used for the classification problem, and the goal of the SVM is to create a hyperplane or the decision boundary that can segregate the data sets into different classes. So the data points that help to define the hyperplane are known as the support vectors, and hence it is named as the support vector machine. So we can apply the SVM algorithm for the face reduction, image classification, or predicting the drugs discovery. So here we can use this kind of algorithm. And the next best algorithm is the decision tree algorithm, and the decision tree is a supervised learning algorithm that is mainly used to solve the classification problem but can also be used for solving the regression problem. So it can work with both categorical variables and continuous variables, and it shows a tree-like structures that includes the nodes and branches and starts with the root node, and that it expand on further branches till the leaf node. So the internal node is used to represent the features of the data set, branches show the decision rules, and the leaf node represents the outcome of the problem. And some real world applications of the decision tree algorithms are identification between the cancerous or non-cancerous cells, suggestions to customers to buy a car or not, or students can buy a computer or not. So like we can use this decision tree algorithm. And the next best algorithm is the naive Bayes algorithm, and the naive Bayes classifier is a supervised learning algorithm which is used to make the prediction based on the probability of the object. So the algorithm named as naive Bayes as it is based on the Bayes theorem and follows the naive assumption that says the variables are independent to each other. The Bayes theorem is based on the conditional probability, and it means the likelihood that event A and will happen when it is given that event B has already happened, so that we can formulate the Bayes theorem which is a probability of A on B which is equal to probability of B on A into the probability of A divided by the probability of B. So the probability of A is the likelihood of the event, and probability of A on B is the conditional probability, and the probability of B is the given event that already happened. So using this terms, the naive Bayes rules that uses to find the probability of the objects. And the next and we can say the applications of the naive Bayes are finding the text classification, or the email spam classification, or fraud detection, etc. And the next best algorithm is machine learning algorithm is the K nearest neighbor algorithm, and the K nearest neighbor is a supervised learning algorithm that can be used for both the classification and regression problem, and this algorithm works by assuming the similarities between the new data point and the available data point, and based on the similarity the new data points are put in the most similar categories, and it is also known as the lazy learner algorithm, as it stores all the available data sets and classifies each new case with the help of the k neighbors. So the new case is assigned to the nearest class with the most similarities and any distance function that measures the distance between the points. And here we can use the different kind of distance functions, say for example Euclidean function, Minkowski distance and Manhattan distance, or we can use the Hamming distance. And the applications of the k nearest neighbors algorithm are the product recommended system. So in recommender system we can use the k nearest neighbor algorithm. And the next best algorithm is the artificial neural network algorithm. And the artificial neural network are a type of supervised learning algorithm, and that is inspired by the biological neuron of the human brain. And these algorithms are used for the solving the complex task such as image recognition or natural language processing and speech recognition. And the artificial neural networks are composed of the multiple interconnected neurons which are organized into layers. So here we can use the artificial neural network in image classification task or text classification task or language translation or language detection. And the next best algorithm is the k-means algorithm, or we can say it's the random forest algorithm. So the random forest algorithm is a supervised learning algorithm that can be used for both the classification and regression problem. So in machine learning. So it is the ensemble learning techniques that provides the predictions by combining the multiple classifiers and improve the performance of the model. To classify a new data sets or objects, each tree gives the classification results and based on the majority votes and the algorithm predicts the final output. And the random forest is the fastest algorithm and can efficiently deal with the missing or the incorrect data so that it contains the multiple decision tree for subsets of the given data sets and find the average to improve the prediction accuracy of the model. And the next best algorithm is the k-means algorithm. The k-means algorithm is a clustering algorithm, and which is one of the simplest unsupervised learning algorithm which is used to solve the clustering problem. And the data sets are grouped into k different clusters based on similarities and dissimilarities. That means the data sets with the most of the commonalities remain in one cluster, which has very less or no commonalities between other clusters. So in k means, the k refers to the number of clusters and means refers to the average of the data sets in order to find the centroid. If the centroid, if it is a centroid based algorithm and each cluster is associated with the centroid, and it aims to reduce the distance between the data points and their centroids within a cluster, and it can be used for the sperm detection and filtering and identification of the fake websites or fake news, etc. And the next algorithm among the top 10 machine learning algorithm is the gradient boosting algorithm. And the gradient boosting algorithm is a popular machine